Hi folks, I've got just 4 books for you during this very short week, but they're all good ones. Posted begins with a chapter called The Catalyst, and if you know your science, the catalyst is the thing that starts it all. And in our case, the catalyst is Ruby Sandals, and she's a teen like many others who carries her cell phone around. And as might sound familiar, it's at a school where the administration kind of fights it, but they realize it's kind of an uphill battle, and so they kind of let it be. Until one day, our little Ruby Sandals is sitting in her math class, and she's caught texting a message that is so terrible that it prompts the school board and parents, pretty much everyone but the kids, to vote to ban cell phones permanently from the school campus. And they do not back down, they stick to it. So something new starts to form in its place. Frost, who's our narrator, is the first to receive a Post-it on his locker. And it's from a friend. It reads, "Welcome to the Dark Ages," something totally harmless. But the whole Post-it thing starts to catch on, and it becomes the new text message. It starts off really fun and friendly, and then some not so nice notes start appearing, and then it turns pretty nasty. And Frost is forced to decide whether he's going to join in or try to stop it. The idea of Post-its might not sound like the first thing you think of to replace text messages if you didn't have your cell phone in front of you, but it turns out to be a really realistic look at how friendships can be tested by the pressure to be a bully, and might make you question why we even have that urge in the first place. Words Can Hurt is the message of the whole book, but the words in this book I think will make you think. If you like survival stories, this is a must-read. This is the true story of the soccer team who found themselves trapped in a Thailand cave 2 summers ago. So what started off as a really fun day with their coach soon turned very scary as they started exploring this cave and water started to fill, blocking their exit. The book is filled with photographs, maps, and incredible details of how this extraordinary team managed to rescue these boys after they were trapped there for a full 18 days. I think you will be captivated by their true story. Super Gifted is the sequel to Ungifted, and if you haven't checked that one out, it's the story of Donovan Curtis. Donovan can't seem to control his urge for mischief. It's like something comes over him and he's just compelled to do these things that he knows aren't going to turn out so great, like sneaking out of detention, separating the giant globe from the Atlas statue in the middle of his middle school campus, and watching it roll down the hill and crash through the front doors of the gym during the championship game. Needless to say, the aftermath is not great. He's dragged to the superintendent's office, who scribbles down his name on a piece of paper, and then is forced to send Donovan home while he deals with the fire department. But when he returns to his office, he can't find the paper anywhere with the kid's name on it. And his secretary's gone home, and with her is the paper where the superintendent wrote his name on the list for students admitted to the academy for scholastic distinction. When Donovan is instructed to show up at the school for the super gifted, super smart kids, he realizes it could be a whole lot worse, so he keeps his mouth shut and he tries to make sure that everyone thinks he belongs there. But he can't help but stand out, and the other kids kind of love him for it. He's fun, he's creative, and he starts to be kind of an unexpected hero among them. So I'm not going to tell you how that plays out entirely, but in this one, the sequel, Donovan is back at his home school, and his friend Noah from the gifted school has decided to join him there. He wants to give normal school a try, but he's having a really hard time fitting in. That is until he takes credit for a very heroic act that Donovan performs, and then he starts to get kind of a big head for it. So both books are fun and funny, and like most Gordon Corman books, it's filled with this big cast of characters that feel like they could be good friends. This is another book that will make you think. Ibram X. Kendi has become a very recognized name in the past year for his teachings on anti-racism. Some of you may have read the book he co-wrote with young adult author Jason Reynolds called Stamped. In this book, Kendi asks us to think about what an anti-racist society might look like and how we can play an active role in building it. It's part history, part ethics, part science, part law, a whole lot of parts that add up to a very deep and thoughtful book. Though it's written primarily for adults, this book is accessible to anyone interested in learning more about this message.